What's going on, guys? Welcome to another session. And today I'm going to probably slow down because I know when I do those little fireworks and everything else, it slows it down. Today I'm here with Matthew Mooney, the legend. I know we want to just share a little bit about your story because we just reconnected recently. But a while back, if you guys have not followed, if you guys are watching, make sure you comment replay below, #replay. If you're watching live, comment #live. But Matt, we want to just talk about just when we first met. Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you are currently, and how your story began. And I will just have a conversation about it. I'm
Cool.
it's so cool because I'm actually so intrigued what you accomplished since we met, and it's an amazing that other people can hear.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you having me on. I enjoyed talking with you a little bit yesterday. It's been a while. So, yeah, I'll kind of just introduce myself for everybody watching. My name is Matt. I'm from Rochester, New York originally. I currently live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Me and Rafal met, it's been almost 3 years now, huh?
Oh yeah, it's been over 3 years, I think maybe.
Yeah, crazy.
Time flies.
Yeah, and so let's see, man. I've been all over the place in the past couple of years. I was obviously, I was painting as a painter, and I was just in the rat race, the grind, 10-hour days, and wasn't enjoying it, right? So that's when I was able to connect with you and the team over there, and really just start changing my mindset and moving towards a progressing and growing, and that was huge for me, and that opened up different opportunities for me to be able to move out of Rochester and be able to go see different things and start new jobs and all that other cool stuff.
Yeah, but I remember when you first started out, and I remember I told you that you're so good on videos, sharing your stories. And I remember you started. I don't know what you called it. It was. Do you remember what you called it?
Oh man,
It was
I
it
do.
was in your garage, and I remember
Yeah,
the bikes were hanging and stuff, and
it was like master the game or something. I don't know.
it was. But you have grown so much. Like let's go back when we met. Okay, let's go back when you first started out. You were looking in a way to literally, because I know how much you loved painting uh, at that time. But you were looking for a way to build a side hustle, basically build something that you can be able to travel the world and do the things that you love. And you started with online marketing. Let's go back in there. How, like, what intrigued you about starting an online business?
Well, for I guess the thing that got me moving in that direction was just entrepreneurship in general, right? I've always been the type of person that wanted to do it my way and kind of, be in charge and be a leader as well. Like I love being a leader. I love being able to teach and help people learn new things that's going to help them grow. So being able to get into that space and then obviously the other aspect of it, the online side, is just it's the way that everything's moving, and it also frees you up even more, right? So if you're an entrepreneur and you're stuck in, let's say, Vegas, you're stuck in Vegas, but having that freedom to be able to do my work and also travel and do all that other stuff is the main the main reason I wanted to do it.
And when I met you, you just literally like finished school. Like you were what, 21, 20?
Yeah, I was like 21, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one of the things that I loved about you is that you were coachable. Like you were, whatever you were told, you would do it no matter what happens. So again, if you guys are just joining us right now, I'm here with Matthew Mooney. He's joining us right now all the way in Vegas. I wish I was there right now. They closed Canada borders. I can't travel. But yeah, and then we're just talking about, because actually we met 3 years ago, and we've been on this journey. We just literally reconnected because of the video that Chantel just posted recently. It's like, oh my God, look at all the memories, all those people. And we all go through a journey. So I know you started out, you're working on it, and your goal was, like, I remember you were talking about the moving out and be able to just, get out there in the world and experience things. Let's go when you first left. What did you end up doing?
So when I first, left the online marketing space, I came across an opportunity to work for a home security company. And so it's kind of crazy, but I was following Grant Cardone's videos a lot, watching his real estate stuff, and then an ad popped up for this, this position to learn how to do sales. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I looked into it, I figured it all out, and then a week and a half later, I was moving to Philly to start, this new journey. But yeah, I've been selling alarms door to door. I did that for about a year and a half. I learned a lot. I told you yesterday, I was like, this past couple of years has kind of been like a college for me, because I kind of went to college. I had some fun and partied a little bit too much. And so this is the actual college.
Well, you learn from experience and stuff. And how, because you decided like all of a sudden, you're like, you know what, I'm going, you know what I mean? What was your parents' reaction? Because
it's funny because they weren't they weren't upset about it. They weren't unhappy, and the main reason is I was in a place where I wasn't happy. I wasn't around the types of people that I wanted to be around. And when my dad was my age, he was in the same situation, and what he did is he had to change his environment. So he moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and got a job out there, and was able to get away from some of those negative things, negative influences.
Yep.
And so that's why I was just so ready to do the same thing, is because I've heard from my dad his story. So I was confident that me doing that is going to help me grow as well.
And that's so inspiring, because parents are there to help you and guide you. And if you hear it's like, if you can do it, I can do it as well. Yep. Now you get into sales, okay? Because I remember we first talking about it, it's like, Rafael, like, I don't know how to sell. So let's go back your, let's say, first month of door-to-door experience, because I personally think everyone should have the ability. I've done door-to-door. Everyone should have that, because that teaches you so many things, especially how to handle rejections. So let's go talk about just the first month. You went in, you're selling alarm systems. How was that?
It was hard, man. It was so hard, dude. I've never felt so much rejection in my life. Like I haven't ever felt that in my life, and it was very hard to overcome at first. But I also saw, other people that went through it and worked hard and where they were at the time. So I knew that I just had to get through the suck. I just had to get through it, and I just had to keep, grinding. And that the way that I looked at it, for the first month, 2-3 months, whatever it may be, was every time I got a no, I was one no closer to the yes.
That's right.
So once I figured out that, and my mentality just switched like that, I was like, okay, cool, I got another no. That means I'm, one more to that sale.
And it's a lot of times when we first start out, a lot of people say, I'm not good in sales. I mean, you were a kid, you were selling your parents how to not eat the Brussels sprouts, or you're constantly selling. How many times have you guys, like, comment in the chat if you guys are just hopping live here again? I'm here with Matthew Mooney. We connected about 3 years ago. We've been working a little bit, and then he went on a journey, and we're just gonna we're talking about how he went through his journey, because I'm so freaking proud of you, because I know where you are and how much now when you're talking to your confidence and everything that you have experience right now. So if you guys just say hi, say, hey, Matthew, I call him Matthew, Mr. Mooney. And I remember you used to do calls and you used to do interviews. I'm like, hey, go do interviews. You're really good on camera. You can talk to people. And I remember you started a show, basically. It was in your garage. I remember the bikes were hanging and stuff. And you were just literally interviewing entrepreneurs. Because everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but they don't know where to start and they don't know how to get involved. And I know Balazs talked about door-to-doors. I've done door-to-door. So if you guys haven't had a chance to go and get experience, no. It's an interesting journey, but you get to learn. Like I said, you don't take it personally. You go to next, and yes, you are closer to yes every single time. So now you've done this for about a year and a half. Is that right?
I did alarms for about a year and a half, close to 2, probably closer to 2 years. And then for the past 6 months, I've been doing, I switched over to residential solar.
Okay, so that's why you're in Vegas right now.
Yep.
So if anyone is in Vegas right now and you need solar power, reach out to Matthew. Yeah. Okay, reach out. He's gonna connect you. He's gonna give you a deal.
Yep.
So let's go back to, because I'm curious and stuff. What's up, Veronica? Hi guys. Hey, Majena. So you got a lot of people hopping on here. Here, guys, pop in, say hi to, just don't be shy. A lot of people is like, I don't want to comment. I'm just going to watch. Okay, keep on watching.
Yeah, everybody comment. I want to see everybody commenting.
There you go.
How
So,
you doing
yeah,
today?
Matthew is so nervous right now. He's literally
So
like
nervous.
shaking. But anyways, let's go back to that. When you were selling you obviously when you watch Grant Cardone, everyone retargets you with all the other things, which is amazing. But hey, you started out within the first year and a half when you started doing this. Give me some interesting. There's got to be some story, something that was like that you can say is like that was an interesting situation.
Okay, I the first one that comes to mind is my very first sale, right? So my very first one that I did on my own. It was actually the first week I got to Philadelphia. I think it was like the fourth day of the week. I've been getting no's all week. I'm just like, oh, it sucks. It's rainy. It's humid outside. It's in the middle of the summer, and I'm just out there for 10 hours, 8 hours, just knocking doors. But I finally get somebody who's a little interested, right? And I'm able to talk to him, go in the house, do the presentation, and he's like, okay, cool, sounds good. And then he falls asleep on the couch.
What?
Yeah. He falls asleep on the couch. He's like, here, sign me up. I'm gonna take a nap. Just wake me up when I need to sign or whatever.
Wow, I heard stories, but that's an interesting one. So you're like,
Yeah.
okay. How long does it take you
Yeah.
to fill out the paperwork?
It takes about 30 minutes or so. So he took a quick power nap, and I woke him up for the phone call and to sign the paperwork, and we were good.
You know what? You got to leverage the time. Why wait there while you're filling my paperwork out? I'm just going to take a nap.
Exactly. So I think that's probably the funniest story I have, just because it was my first sale, right? So I was like, oh, this is easy. Let's keep doing this.
So you're saying, hey guys, I got a proposition for you. Okay. Not just I'm going to give you a good deal on alarm system. Okay. But on top of that, while I'm filling out paperwork, you're welcome to take a nap.
I know, man. So weird. And that's never happened to me ever again, right? I think I never will.
How when you went to your boss and you say, hey, I got my first sale, guess what? Guess how I did it? Did you tell him?
Oh yeah, I told everybody. They loved it.
I remember Balazs used to tell me like they used to have like challenges when they get so good at it is they would dare each other, like there would be two of them or something. It's like, I'll bet you I can go in there right now, start a conversation with them, be in the house and grab their apple, start eating it, and then
yeah, man, it's crazy, dude. The door-to-door sales, like if anybody's out there right now who's watching this, who wants to get into the entrepreneur space, or they want to have more freedom, I highly, highly, highly recommend doing door-to-door sales, even if it's just for a summer, right? A lot of the teams they'll do summer stuff. You'll learn so much. Like, it's crazy how much you learn.
well, you learn how to, like I said, not take it personally, because a lot of times when you go in and you get a no, it's like, oh my God, what did I do? How could I do something better? It's like, no, it's next.
Yep.
Stuff. So okay, so that's one story. What about, like, have you ever gotten kicked off and threatened and off the property or?
Yep. Same. Actually, a lot of these stories are when I first started, but yeah, this was in Philly as well. I was talking to the homeowner, right, and her son. We're talking for about a minute or so, and her son comes up from the basement, and he's cursing at me, like, who the F are you? What are you doing here? Get the F out of here, all this stuff. And I'm like, hey man, just, it's all good. I'm just, the alarm guy, no worries. I'm not going to hurt anybody. And he kept pressing me. And then he pulls up his shirt a little bit, and he's got a gun, right up in his waistband. He's like, you better get off my property right now. And he pulls it out. He never brandished it at me. He didn't point it at me, but he was holding it. And I was like, all right, man, I'm out.
So
yeah.
there's dangers of work, and then there's door-to-door danger.
Yeah. Well, I was also working in a not so nice area of Philadelphia, so if you want to avoid that, I would go somewhere else.
So do they select areas that you guys get to go through? So like when you're like, hey, this is where we're gonna drop you off, like they will put you in a van and they're like, here it is, this is your area.
Yeah. When you first start out, you can't drive the area. They drop you off. That way you're stuck there, and you can't go to the gas station for 30 minutes or whatever it may be. So you're just stuck in the area.
Also, you just have to. Do they keep track of you, like when you're doing door to door? Because again, some of the viewers that might be watching, they've never done door to door. Do they track you? Like, how is it? Do you have to have a certain amount of quota? There's certain amount of doors you have to hit on. Do you have to prove it to them, or do they have drones flying around and watching you? Or...
It all depends, but for the most part, companies will have an app that you track all of your, people you've talked to, houses, stuff like that. But yeah, it depends on the position you take, right? You could have a position that's hourly with commission or just strictly commission. When I first started, I was strictly commission. So, if I didn't work and I didn't get sales, that's on me. It wasn't really like anybody else is going to be able to fire me or that, so it was all on me. And I liked that, that pushed me because I didn't have that safety net of having an hourly wage. It pushed me to work harder, commit, and get the sales. And then when I did, I was able to make more because I was strictly commission.
So when you said you first started out, for the first month, 2-3 months, you didn't get any sales. How do you survive if you have no sales, if you're strictly commissions?
Well, let's see. I think I had a couple. I mean, I had a couple for the first few months. So I wasn't making a ton of money, but I also had money saved up to where I was able to, help myself out during those few months.
Okay.
And then, commission started to come in and yeah.
Was there a lot
history, man?
What else? Was there a lot of turnover? People coming going throughout your journey because it's door to door. Like there's people just they try it first day and then they quit the next day. Someone yelled at me.
Yeah, it's I'll be honest with people out there too. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, right? So, if you're gonna do it, know that you're gonna go through some suck, and it's worth it if you go through it and you come out of it on top.
That's awesome, man. No, okay. So now you're doing, you got the experience, you have the things. Did you go through any training, or does the company provide you, or it's like, here we go, figure it out on your own?
Yeah, we got tons of training. Actually, it was kind of cool. We got access to Jordan Belfort's entire
that's cool.
training. Yeah, his entire I can't remember what it's called, but the expensive one, we got access to that, so that was really beneficial. And then obviously just learning from people that are successful in the industry. That was the main thing for me. Is I'm more of a visual, hands-on type learner rather than reading. So being able to go out there in the field with people that had a lot of experience was beneficial.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And then now, so you switched over. And what's the reason you switched from alarm? Now you're doing the sales now. Obviously, this is all like temporary because I know you have passion to, go big. And then, but this is just perfect experience for you.
Yep. Yeah. So the reason that I switched from alarms to solar, I would say the main reason was I just wasn't fully behind the product that I was selling. The alarm industry is changing, right? There's a lot more options out there now that don't cost people $3,000 for equipment and $70 a month for monitoring. So I started in certain situations, yeah. So you got to pay for the equipment, and then you have like a monthly monitoring fee. But now you have systems out there that are, $200 for the equipment and $15 a month. So for me to be able to sell something like that, I would really have to see the enormous amount of value for that reason to pay $50 extra a month and $3,000 up front. Mm-hmm. So that's why I got into solar, is because I see solar as kind of starting out, and it has, tons of room for the market to grow and grow and grow, rather than, in my opinion, security is just going to keep going down from here.
Yeah, we might have to talk about solar, because I was actually really interested, because I moved from Vancouver and we just bought a house in Calgary here. And I'm like, it's always sunny. It's the sunniest city in Canada. But then I'm like, the other day they got like last month or the month before, they got the biggest hail. And I'm like, oh, is solar hail proof?
Well, depends on the panels, right? Depends on the type of panels you have.
If it goes through, if the hail goes through the roof, will it go through the solar as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's
No,
crazy.
it's actually pretty interesting because I know I was always interested in technology, and solar is one of the biggest things. I remember even in Vancouver, they had solars that you can actually, it will collect sunlight, and anything extra, you sell it back to the company, like that does electricity. Is that something that happens in Vegas too, or?
Yeah, yeah, it's actually awesome right now. They have programs set up to where you're able to produce what you need during the day, and you don't use everything you produce, so the rest of it goes back onto the grid. And then
Okay.
at nighttime, you're able to draw it back for 1-to-1 ratio. So you basically get all of the power that you produced
What about
throughout the year.
anything extra? Do they give you credit for something for it, or?
No, not here, not anymore. They used to do that when solar was really starting out, is they would actually give you money for, other stuff. But we had it set up to where we set the system up for 100% offset. So it's perfectly set up, system size to offset your power needs. Nothing more, nothing less.
And just out of my own curiosity, so if
hmm
someone wants to purchase it, obviously there's different for different house, different platform. But let's say, what does an average person pay for electricity? Let's say in Vegas right now, and what does it cost for them to get a solar, like offset? Like how long does it take to offset it?
Yeah, so currently right now in Vegas, the average price for kilowatt hour is between 14 and a half and 16 and a half cents.
Okay.
So somewhere in between there. And you have to also realize 10 years ago in Vegas, it was 8 cents a kilowatt hour, right? So we've nearly doubled just in 10 years.
Yeah.
So now you got to think about 10 years from now, we might even double or add another 8 cents or whatever it may be. That's what's crucial with solar is you're able to control your price per kilowatt hour, your price that you pay every single month. Because what happens is you trade your existing bill that's varying and unpredictable
What's
for
an average bill, like let's say in Vegas, if you say like electricity bill, for example, because they use a lot of obviously AC and stuff like that.
yeah, let's say it all depends, but I guess I would say the average is probably around 150 a month, like $150 a month.
Okay.
But in the summertime, it's going to be closer to 300, and then the wintertime closer to 50, right?
So it just
So that's
offset.
kind of, yep. And so then what we do is with solar is we come right behind them and give you a fixed price at, let's say, 120. And that stays the same for the entire time that you have the solar system. So you can't see any rate increases like everybody else.
So it's basically you're paying the monthly fee. Do you have the ability to pay it off, or do you sort of just pay it,
Mhm.
or there's different options?
Yeah, you can buy it cash, you can pay it off within 5 years, or you can pay it off within 25 years. Cool thing is with our loans is they are unsecured, so you have no early payoff penalty.
Okay, so you can pay it off at any time. So if you're selling a house or something and it can be included and just paid off, that's awesome, man. And I know the technology has changed completely, especially like over 10 years solar or 5 years from now. What's the newest technology that, if, let's say, uh, again, some people might be interested in solar and or maybe they have something. What are some of the new technologies, advancements?
Okay. I would say one of the things that I like the most right now, it's not really like, technology advancement, but it's a cool app. It's called the Curb Smart app.
Hmm.
And basically what the Curb app does is it connects to your inverter. The inverter is the brains of the solar system, the operation, and it
Yeah.
actually can tell you every single outlet in your house what things are drawing more power, what things are being inefficient. Let's say your AC is drawing twice as much power as it did last month. It actually is able to tell you that before you have these massive power bills because you're using twice as much as you were.
Yeah.
So you can actually get in there and have somebody fix it, right when the problem happens.
That's awesome. So door
Mhm.
to door is a way to start because I know everyone should. If you guys are listening right now, if you haven't, just do it for the heck of it. You know what I mean? Or if you have kids, put them through it. I'm actually thinking about my kids. They're right now. My oldest is 17 now. By the way, he's
Yep.
in Air Cadets. His fifth year. He's learning how to be a pilot now. He's working a scholarship, and then the youngest one is in cadets too. And everywhere, it's the experience that you get. You can't learn this in school. Imagine learning door to door in school.
Crazy.
Crazy. Like you literally
People
can
would
leverage.
learn so much about interacting with people and being able to communicate and how you talk, the tone that you talk in. Like there's so much stuff to learn. And my recommendation to the younger people out there, like your son or whatever, it's a great summer job for college kids, because you can actually make a decent amount of money where it's going to, get you through the entire year of college, and then you do it in the summer while you're, off for the time being.
How is it affected now with the COVID and everything else? Do you guys have?
It's a bit different. It's a bit weirder. We're still out there. We're still working, mainly because we are considered essential, because we are a part of a utility company. Yep. So we're still operating 100%. And when we have our consultations, we're being as cautious as we can be. So.
Well, Matthew, I know you're an entrepreneur. What's the side hustle you're working right now on?
Oh man, the side hustle. I've been into crypto a little bit. I've been researching that type of stuff. I have a few things involved in the crypto space, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen the next couple of years with all of that.
Well, today we have all the elections and everything that is happening right now. We don't know what's going to happen. That's the thing. Like,
crazy.
With the pandemic, with everything else and stuff. And I don't really get involved. I'm on the other side in Canada, but it's going to affect it either way. And it's just the stuff that they're saying on news, and one person saying one thing, and we can literally be here for hours and talking about it. But
yep.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate the way the media is these days, right? It feels like you can't find a truly unbiased source of media anymore, right? So it's like, what am I supposed to believe that's going on? It's like, it's craziness.
It's all, someone is running it, someone purchased that, and if you don't know what it is, it's always about the money. Follow the money trail. So
money and power.
Yeah. Well, I know that we've been here for a little bit, guys, and I know you have to run, so I'm going to respect your time. But thank you so much for hopping on here. I know we're going to be in touch more often now. I know we got to chat, because I know you were asking about the online marketing and stuff like that. So just let's set up some time. We'll hop on. And I know you leverage. And the beauty is this is the skill that you learn, because you were talking about like 3 years ago when you first started out, you're learning the online. And now your girlfriend wanted to have just say, run ads. And you're like, oh, I remember a few things. You hopped on and jumped on that. So any final words you want to add?
Not really, man. Just everybody. I guess the last thing I'd want to say is just let's all just come together. Let's all just be positive. Let's all just try to put all this nonsense and all the stuff that's being thrown into our heads aside, and let's just become one and figure these things out together. Like that's the only way we're going to get through all this, right? Is if we just come together, hear each other out, and get through it all together.
Every single day. So thank you guys for watching. Again, pop in a quick comment to say if you watch a replay, and then we'll see you guys in 1 sec.